Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, your host on The Actor's Life with Mawuyon, coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm so happy to be back on this show. I've missed you all. I've missed this show. And it's been a beautiful time away. Thank you, Moshood. Thank you. I see you, Chidima. Thank you. Okay. So without much ado, let me just bring on our guests so that we set the ball rolling. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yes, go live. How is Nigeria treating you? How is the economy and everything around us? How is it treating you? How have you been? Our guest will join us anytime now. Okay, there you are. Hello.
Good afternoon, ma.
You know what? Before I came on this program, I promised myself, say I not go laugh too much. Because I know who you are. I know you will bring plenty laughter. So
seriously?
Yes, I just know.
No,
so I just told myself, say, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Since Ekiti. Even in Ekiti.
Even in Ekiti, I don't think we have time to even sit down and talk.
Did we even have time to do this kind of interaction I was expecting? Or
yes.
Did we have that kind of
no.
Well, I hope we can have an improvement.
Yes, hopefully.
Are you coming to Benin for what?
We've had this conversation. I said, if you carry me come Benin, I'll go come.
No.
I didn't come to Benin.
Follow Nantap now, the president. Okay, I will speak with him about it.
That he should bring you to Benin.
That you follow them now. I mean, national executive is coming to Benin for what year today?
Somebody's asking what happened in Ekiti. Moshood.
Nothing happened. What happened in Ekiti stays in Ekiti.
Moshood, did you hear the prof? He said, what happened in Ekiti stays in Ekiti. So let's leave it at that. So ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, he doesn't like all these appellations. He just likes to be known as Israel Wekpe. And I respect that. He's my Oga. But anytime I say sir, he will say, who is your sir? Israel Wekpe is a lecturer at the University of Benin, ancient Benin. And he's a research doctor. One university like that in the Obodo. Okay, I don't reach your Sazua where he was. I see you. Welcome. Thank you so much. Okay. And today we'll be talking about the Arts of Play Initiative, which is an NGO. I remember the last time, just before Actor's Life came back, myself and Israel were talking, and he mentioned the Art of Play Initiative. And I took my time to do some read up. And when I saw what it was, I just told myself, okay, Mawuyon, this is something I need to bring to the Actor's Life with Mawuyon so that we can talk about it. And like I told you, if we do not talk about ourselves, nobody will talk about us. And somebody says he likes to be called bros, whichever way.
All the people that have avatars that you cannot even decipher. Is all right.
They intentionally have those names so that you don't know who they are. So God catch you.
We'll find them out.
We'll find them out actually. So, bros, welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Somebody say Ose Migwo. Ose is greeting you. It says Migwo back. So, Art of Play Initiative. What is it all about?
The Art of Play initiative is actually an arts charity. It's involved in advocacy, arts advocacy. It's involved in capacity building in the arts. It's involved in theater for young people, young audience. Somewhere along the line, eventually, we're thinking about, although it's part of the whole agenda, thinking about generational art. Okay, I was talking to someone and I said they keep using old people, young people, make them up to do performances, right? So it will come to a time where we'll dedicate ourselves to training pensioners so that they can just, it be therapy for them. It also be something for them to act instead of you making them up. Because if you look at other other theater or film ecosystems outside of Nigeria,
Yeah.
you will know
Yes.
that and all of that, and it means that we can train our pensioners to do that also, and it gives them extra income. It gives them, and this is what we'll do in the near future, and very close to doing that, But we're starting small. It was only founded in 2018. In the UK, part of my coming back, starting with just building capacity for young people, basically now. He runs an arts class every Saturday morning, free of charge and all that for the community, and that's the kind of thing. COVID actually back doing stuff. We want to do arts that have that resonate with our community rather than thinking this place is what we want to do, but we want to do what it's an immediate thing. Okay, last year, for instance, okay,
Yeah.
some of the guys working with in the program, as it were, did the set for Edo Jobs, as it were. Just worked with us doing the set for Edo Jobs, and they didn't realize that. For instance, people don't even realize that you need to build an environment, even for what we're talking now. You need to build an
Yeah.
environment for film. You need to production design, and who creates that? So it's not everybody who's going to be acting. Someone needs to build the
Yes.
environment, the set, and all of that. And it's the areas that we're all looking at, and it's a and we think to ourselves that in the next 5 years, we don't need to tell people a lot what we're doing. They would see what we're doing, and we have wonderful young persons working to mentor other young people, and this is where we're going to. This is where we're working, and so for me, it's also part of my community engagement. So it actually resonates with my philosophy as an artist. It actually aligns with my thoughts as a theater person, theater artist. Again, too, because people always think about theater artists as clowns, alawada and all of that. We have to show some seriousness in what we're doing, and this is in the regard. I give you one small thing. One small thing. Okay, so we're working with young people and working with part of productions in terms of artists, not artist managers in the strictest of sense. And every time I see Nollywood, indeed I had this engagement with someone, and he says, "Oh, we're doing a photo headshot." It was in Lagos, this is so, and one big prominent director. And I said to myself, "You don't filter headshots." And headshots have particular measurements. There's a reason why they call them headshots. You don't
Yeah.
filter so that the other designers can see if you have freckles, can see if you have marks in your face. Don't conceal them, because when eventually you're coming on set, who told you they're going to conceal your face and all that? They want to see you. Morgan Freeman,
As you are.
Morgan Freeman still has freckles on his face and all that. So it's small things like this. Okay, people are coming for audition and they don't know how to actually develop, articulate an artistic CV. People are coming to auditions and they think that it is a performance. No, it's a job interview. Am I qualified? show me your trajectory. So it's all of this I'm asking. We need to start doing the things the right way. I saw one recently, very, very embarrassed about. It says slated monologue. In the same place you are saying do a monologue. Do you know what a slate actually is for an audition? Do you get? So you just want to try and confuse people, and you're confusing yourself. So it just shows, if standard wise, that you don't even know what you're doing. And so,
Yeah, true.
practicing young people, training them to begin to understand how you do make self tips. You know, it's not taken from different corners. No, it's a monologue. Your feature. So it's not like, oh, you're trying to do a performance. No, 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 no. They want to see a monologue. What kind of monologue are you doing? Does it have anything to do with the kind of thing that they're asking for? So when they do call for audition, they just say 14 years to 64 years. Is it the age of the actor, age of the character? So those who do the script for the audition templates and all that, they also need to understand. You don't just say, oh, 14 to. Are you talking about a 14-year-old? If a 14-year-old is coming for an audition, 17-year-old, this person needs to come with an adult. Needs to come with a safeguarding. But just drop those things there and say, okay, yeah. So and say, where are your parents? Where are your guardians? We need to see them. So we need to start building all of this into our practice. If not, and that's what we're doing. It's small advocacy, it's small tutoring, small mentoring, but I think that we're going to get there. It's a journey. The way we're shouting
that's
about
everything in the mix.
Yes,
everything in the mix. Yeah.
We're taking it one day at a time, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Very good, very good. I saw someone joining Seaside Cottage. Seaside Cottage is actually a theater somewhere in Bariga here.
I know.
Very good. Now, so one of the reasons why I picked interest in the Art of Play initiative is because it resonates what Shehu is doing here in Lagos, Bariga.
Yeah, Shehu has a different template. Okay, and
yes, they have a separate template. Yes.
Yeah. And in all sincerity, that kind of committed art, I'll call it, that he's doing is what we're doing from different perspectives, different prisms. And
exactly.
Even if he talks to me, he sends me messages and all that about what he's doing. I think by what he's doing because of the community he's working with. Years ago, before that bridge was built, you know, under the bridge, they used to throw refuse and all that. I worked with one of the first refuse collection companies in Lagos, Hygienics. So it was under that bridge there. So I know Bariga, passing on that corner, coming out at Pedro. Do you understand what I'm saying? It ended there before 1990 they built the bridge. Well, something that's interesting about that, people have Bariga so close, yes, to Unilag, that whole axis, Akoka and the rest. And yet, and then you had one of the greatest secondary schools in Nigeria in that area, which is So and you ask yourself, CMS rather, you know, and you ask yourself a question: say, how the schools around that area have not had an engagement, a direct engagement in changing the landscape. In changing the landscape. So whatever Shehu is doing, whatever they feel like they're all doing in that arena with the they won't see the results now. It's those children who are going to have to change their own community. And that's what we're talking about.
Oh, shoot. Network. The network from your end is terrible.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay, I hope everybody can hear me.
Please, if you can hear us, please send us a note to say you can hear us. I'm struggling to hear you. Okay, let's continue. The last I heard was whatever Shehu and Adefilas are doing on that time.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever they're doing, it's amazing. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying that it's going to continue. And that's what I think we should start doing. Our theater can't be like every other theater. Our theater should be committed. Our theater should change the narrative. It should change the landscape. It should encourage young people to do better. Our theater should question the our ecosystem, should question our leadership, should question our direction. We just can't take it hook, line, and sinker. It was happening. Oh, I think it's a fan wave. Oh. I probably need to put out the fan. Is it your fan or my fan?
Yes, I think my fan, because where I am
Ah,
is hot. I have
sorry,
a
sorry.
very big fan.
Oh,
People, I'm sorry. You need to bear with me, otherwise I'll look like I'm in the oven.
okay, okay,
It's
okay.
actually Titi Akimoyo's 50th
Yes,
birthday party.
yes.
So
She's joined the.
I had to get out. I had
Okay,
to
okay.
get out of the party and lock the
Oh,
door, lock myself in
the
one of the
battle.
rooms. So we
Hey,
can.
that's what the labor was, and nobody said anything. It's all right. I'm catching up. Now.
No, it's a hush thing. Don't worry, you're
It
in
is.
Benin, and that's why we go for you.
It is. Hey, we can do Zoom now, and we can do eating.
They are
Escape
doing the
here.
EE thing. Actually, I had to take off from
Is
it.
all right. Eating. I'm coming for all of us. So that's the. Yeah, I think what they're doing around there, and then I keep saying I've not been around for like 2 years or so. I keep saying I want to come there, see what they've done with the stand on stage and all that. And for me, it just shows that the theater can happen anywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, where do we
Yes,
play?
yes.
Where do we play as young people and all that? And so I can actually, that actually resonates with me. I can actually work and enjoy myself, play in the sand, you see, and the architecture and all that. So for me, it's amazing what they're doing there. And someday, very soon, I think we can have that interaction to say we have a vibrant young people's festival, which is global, and we can start thinking about that in the very near future. So that we
Yes,
used
true.
to have all of these interactions before, and you can
True,
imagine
yes,
how
true.
much money that will bring into particular communities and the kind of development. Because as young people, you see other young people and you peer review and you peer interact. Do you know what that means to the man? Do you know what that means to the young man, as it were, or the child? Because, oh, wow, I too can do it. Do you know what I mean? I too can
Yes,
do
I
it.
do.
And that's how I feel it, and that's how I see it, you know.
I was okay. Um, my last child is actually with Sheun.
Okay.
I had to relegate him. Sheun told me something, Auntie, while we were growing up as young theater children, you were one of those who took care of us. Give your son to me, I'll take care of your son, nothing will happen. So we have this agreement that I'll come see my son once every 2 weeks. So my last week was supposed to be my 2 weeks, but I couldn't go because I was on stage. I had a show.
Yeah.
So I went in today, and what I met, I was so happy. They were on a Zoom class. They were on a Zoom workshop. Now, what Sheun did was he loaded his phone and put like 10 of those children online to have interactions with people. I joined one of the screen and I saw that people that were on the screen were older. But it sent a message to my head that at the point after I set them up, he stepped back. And I lay low and I was listening to the children interacting with the people in the diaspora. And what I took away was the confidence. The confidence with the children exuded. They were not afraid to make their mistakes. They were not afraid. Nobody's judging. They are shooting grammar and all of that. Tell me, do you have something like that going on your end?
No, not for now, not for now. But the children who do their artwork and all that, yes, they have interaction, but it's not a Zoom thing yet. But in terms of building actors, building young people in the arts, as I said. I mean, that's been very vibrant. Now, the first year we had IDEA, for instance, young people, not in theater arts. We're talking about persons in plant biology, persons in geology, persons in optometry and the rest, young people in the uni or young people out there. And you have this convergence of these persons because, first of all, you have to give them the confidence to say, I can do it also, major.
Yeah.
Last year we had Adesua, interesting. This year we're supposed to have 3 performances, but we'll have one at the end. We're rehearsing that now for the World Theatre Day, which is in 3 weeks' time, World Theatre Day, okay? IDEA.
I hope I'll be there.
Okay. And then we have Joromi, a musical theater at the end of the year. Now, our engagement for this, for now, is to make people understand too, because our immediate thing is to make people realize, young people realize that theater is a business. Theater is a job. Theater is work, even if it is play. And so we're saying there are entrepreneurial derivatives with this. One of the things I took home from the last, that was last year or two years ago, the Instagram small lecture or workshop that we had for the NANTAP 30th anniversary. And I keep telling these young persons, get an account and build your account. Don't put rubbish out there. Sell yourself. Create a resume. Create your CV. Begin to show your work. No matter how you think trivial it is or infinitesimal, put it out there. This is what I can do. This is what I'm doing. If you put a picture out there, tell a story around that picture. If you put the same picture tomorrow, tell another story, another angle to that story. Begin to build yourself like this. Guys, get your own website. Even if I didn't, get your own website. Wix.com can give it for you for free. Get your own website. Begin to put your content out there. Yes, people are doing skits and all of that. They come in and they go in. But you, on that platform, digitally, it will resonate and still stay. One of the take-home I also had about 2 years ago was getting a grant to learn acting. I still go to school and to learn what COVID did to us. So you can actually use Zoom to teach. Indeed, because of the national, because of theater arts practitioners and all that, Zoom had to find a way of tampering with the algorithm so that they can, acting teachers can teach or can coach or can run studio workshops and all of that. And that's very interesting also about pinning and not pinning, about taking everybody away and just having 2 persons on and getting breakout rooms and all that. I think you are excited. You can even exercise in front of you and the rest. Although they had issues with, some persons have written, okay, I might just be ashamed to show my parlor or my sitting room or my room. So let me put, so I can put a background behind it. You get what I mean? So that I don't show people the kind of environment that I am and confidence and all that. So we see all these small things coming and COVID is gradually leaving. Fine. But Zoom stays. Zoom stays. Zoom is
a present reality. It's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere. That means we can now begin to use Zoom to do, like they talk about telemedicine. So now we can now do teleacting, teleperformance or digital performance as it were. So we can now begin to align ourselves to having live performances streamed and all that to this. We had issues with payment platforms. Now we have payment platforms coming up in the sense of, okay, you can pay and then we'll send you a code. You can come online and watch us. This is very, very interesting. We never had that before. So I don't necessarily need to come see your show. Send me the link and I'll watch it from the comfort of my room. So there's a small screen, which is what we're using now. It's not a big screen any longer. It's just going to be nanolized. So we're looking at all of these things, and we are emphasizing on what I refer to as the value chain in the performance, in the creative economy. This value chain we must sustain, and it's for young people. Hence, we are saying that for us, we're looking at young people now. Next year, 2 years, children. We have to take it one day at a time.
At a time.
Yes, that's what we're doing. So that we don't how do they call themselves? You don't swallow more than you can You can't chew
True.
water. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that. You can't chew more than you can swallow. Swallow more than you can chew. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's
Somebody is
asking
asking what
what
is
is telephone.
teleacting.
I'm just in front of you now, and we realize, for instance, that you had Zoom fatigue. You're just looking at your screen for a long time, and if you have that kind of problem, just close your eyes and open it once after the other. But we also realized that when we were teaching through Zoom, you see how you are framed. You can't see my whole body and all that, except you stay away from from far away from the camera and the rest, because the
Yes,
camera can
yes.
actually, the camera lens can't actually begin to become pliable, where you zoom in, you zoom out, you dolly and the rest. So a different kind of technique now needs to come into play, and that's about, I refer to it as teleacting. It can be Zoom acting and all of that, but I'm just saying that you must understand the medium in which you're acting, which is this, and then we can align ourselves to just doing experimentations about them and all that. We did all of this stuff 2 years ago, trained by some of the bad, I don't want to use the French, badass guys in the industry in America, for instance. And it was very interesting for me because, I mean, it was a grant of $2,000 for 2 weeks, 14 days. It was my birthday gift 2 years ago, and I had this experience, and I am sharing it with young people, and I will continue to share it with young people, because if they gave it to me as a grant, so why can't, I was doing it before, so I can do it, and I will still continue to do it. So whenever we
So
have that time,
can I come in and do my
Chidima
own?
1758, pardon?
Can I come in and have my own training too?
Yeah. If you have a group of like 5 people, 6 people, we can sort that out, so that it doesn't look as if it's just you, but some other persons. Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. So, okay, you and I, we're gonna after now, we're gonna sit and talk about it. I'll put it out there.
Okay.
I'll need people to commit to it. Then we know we have it. Do we have to come to Benin, or we
No.
do
Since
it?
it's Zoom now, since it's Zoom, that's what I'm saying. Since it's Zoom, we can run that
Okay,
just for 1 hour or something. I was doing
beautiful.
during COVID. Yes, and Umbaru now, who are very strong strategic partners that we work with, they're in Lagos. They just provided the technology and all of that, and the bandwidth and all of that for it to happen. So yeah, it can still happen. It
Beautiful.
can still
So,
happen. Yeah.
if you are watching us right now, welcome to it is the Actor's Life with Mawuyon, and my Oga Israel Wekpe is my guest, and we've been having a very interesting discussion that I'm learning from him. And if you are here today, you just might have stumbled on gold, because he just offered to give us a 1.5 hours training on teleacting and all the stuff that come with it. So after now, you can slip into my DM and let me know if you're interested, so that Actors Start with Mawuyon can get to work, and we can make this a reality. Which brings me to
Yeah.
something myself and yes, you're going to say something.
No, I just thought Chuma there on is one of the guests, and Chuma was very instrumental to this happening last year through Umbaruno. So if we can drag him in also, I mean, he's
Did you say
Umbaruno.
Chima or Chidinma?
Chuma Nagbado. I see him there. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, interestingly, coincidentally, just this evening, here at Titi's birthday party, at the moment the president walked in, Nanta president walked in, say, "Man, you're well done. I see what you're doing. So how do you plan on monetizing this?" And I say, "Okay, I'm not thinking about the money now. I'm thinking of how much people we can reach, how much people." We say, "No, you have to start thinking about the money. The money is important, because you do all of this stuff, you spend money,
Ah,
where is it coming from?" I said, "Oh God, we'll get there." But he said something that is of note, which is exactly what you mentioned. He said, where there is money now is capacity building. And that's exactly what you have talked about now. So, permit me, you got it by grant. You got the training by grant.
No, I
Let's
just
leave it
got
at
that
that.
particular training. I just got that particular training
By grant.
by grant, you know, and it was a
And
surprise
it was a
gift,
birthday
really.
present.
It was a
I
birthday
remember the
present.
last time you were on my show. I think you mentioned it. I remember now you mentioned it that you got a birthday present that you is the best gift you've
Yeah, that
received in
I
a
have.
long while.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It was.
remember you said something like that.
This is
Okay.
this is not to say that every time, you know, I'm still voracious about learning. I mean, that. So I give you one takeaway, for instance, and it's
Okay.
about acting that I'm very passionate about. I don't want to talk about the parts where you talk about designing. And I've been asking a question in a certain fora, and I've not gotten an answer. I just asked, what is the Nigerian aesthetic? And people just speak BB grammar for me. You know, so if I'm an actor, Nigerian actor, there's a difference between acting and actor training or acting training. Okay, so what are the things that you use that you teach me? It's different from you saying, oh, I am acting. How do I teach acting, for instance? How do I teach design? Do you get what I'm saying? What are the steps? You get what I'm saying? And this is what I keep looking for. And I keep trying to find answers to it. But again, there's no answer because someone like Lawrence Olivier said years ago, acting is the everlasting search for truth. So I'm still asking this question and I will continue to ask it. Because the way I behave is not the way you behave. You get what I mean? So to say I got that grant and I stopped there would just be, oh no, I did, and I'm sharing it with people, and I order other people to share. You know, so if my namesake says about money for it, yes, the sky is very big, and I think that those guys gave me a bursary, right? And they expect me to affect a community. They
Exactly.
expect me to affect my community. They
Yes.
expect me to talk about include other people, inclusivity, equity, and diversity. And they've added a new one to it, justice. So it's now justice, equity, diversity, and inclusivity. And these are things that we probably took for granted, but we have to start looking at it. You know, because the grants that probably Shehu gets, for instance, and all that to do, yes, he monetizes. Good. But it's not about profit. It's about putting that thing back in the investment in training young people. I hope that's
Yes.
what the president is saying. So here is take about money and says, okay, look, we are running this program. Please, can you volunteer to take care of the e-drinks that we're going to have and all that to sustain the program? And instead of us cut for 45 minutes like on Zoom, pay for the Zoom for the whole year, give us the link. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about when you say monetizing. Oh, 3 people are going to come for the training, for instance. Oh, we need to give a stipend, not a salary, to the person. Okay, this is what's going to happen. But for you to now derive benefit from it, you can have now to go to other commercial ventures and now begin to do like what I call speaking engagements, teaching engagements, coaching engagements. But this particular thing is something that you're trying to reach out to other people to say an actor's life with Mawuyon. Yes, you become a brand. You are a brand, but it resonates with other works that you do because people see you now. Now, natural audition and be that one now. Say, okay, I think I will need her. So you're getting visibility. You don't get what I mean? Because that's the first thing
Yes, so
actually, visibility. You're getting visibility. Oh, and then it's about networking. I've seen you now. No, I will always bring my own if I want to do this kind of thing. First refuse that. Can you do this for me? Oh, you can't. Okay, fine. I'll go find somebody else. You might even recommend somebody safe. So that's
yes.
how it
True.
networks. That's how we begin to think in that regard. Okay, and seriously, we need that. We need that. We need that. That's why we join association, isn't it? So that we can.
Yes.
That's why we join association so that we can interact. Because only in that at that point of convergence that we begin to see that, oh, there's this grant there. Oh, there's this connection there. There's this role that's coming out. Oh, watch out for it. Oh, you didn't hear from me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know. So
But
I mean, yes.
but what are we getting now?
What are you
Don't
getting
let's
now?
talk. Don't let us talk about it. You remember we are saying something about that particular convergence that we had, but we couldn't go back and say we actually had something to take home. Sorry.
I took something. I took something which is an experience. I took something
Hmm.
about friendship. I know somebody now where we say I only use Ori for instance. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I need Ori now, I just say I beg help me buy Ori come from that place. So that's something I took away from it, right? And so when some guys went part of and they said, oh, do you remember that person that beat us, that soup and the Ori and all that? I said, why didn't you guys why didn't you interact? Well, okay, take the number and interact. Do you get what I'm saying? So those opportunities
Yes.
years ago. And so I always like to, when I get into a community, I ask, is there a bookshop? And then where do they eat? I like food a lot because I cook.
Exactly.
Eh, so those two things for me. And then I like to actually knowledge. How do they do this thing? You know, I like to take all of that away so that when I'm doing my own performances, when I'm doing my own direction, when I'm doing my own tuition, I can infuse them. I can begin to use what I learned recently, trans languaging.
Yes.
So we're using multiple languages, multiple codes, as it were, to teach and to explain and to interact. Because this I am speaking now is not my language. But even if it is English, the nuances are different, the idioms are different. So this is where we are and we'll stay there.
Art of play, art
Initiative.
of play initiative. So,
Right.
from what I gathered from what you've been saying so far, is it to say art of play initiative is on the campus?
No. It's way out of there. It's not a school thing. It's an outside thing
So you said
because it's
something
a
about
charity.
because it's a charity. So, do you have an age range of the
Oh
young
no.
people you bring on board?
No. Anybody. But like I said, we're just doing performances now. That one and NEPA have been waiting. Hello. Sorry. So we just have anybody. It depends on the projects that we're doing. Do you understand
Yes.
what I'm saying? It depends on the project
Mm.
that I do. But we're just involved in generational arts. We're just involved in nurturing young people, adults and all that, to build a community. And a community is not a society. It's a community of like minds, a community of practitioners, a community. Okay, recently working with NANTAB, we're thinking about industrial theater, for instance.
Okay.
Industrial theater. And what is that? Using theater to engender productivity in the workplace. Using theater to engender productivity in the workplace. Back in I can't even remember, just a small story that was told me. Okay, I give you this. I use it in my class sometimes. You come to just an improvisation. It can take less than 10 seconds to do. Okay, somebody comes to a motor park. This boss never even still full self is waiting. And then someone else comes late. The boss never even full. I beg, man, go enter a bus for another place. Who you want may come there for that place. They wait for you, may boss full. So you do this story, for instance, in a whatever context, and you just ask questions thereafter. And the questions are, why don't you come early? Why don't you come? And we can start tampering with the questions. You come to rehearsal. I say, oh, they never still come rehearsal. Eh? Now this kind of thing I know they like. Oh, did you come early? Are you there early? The other one will call people in the rehearsal and say, people don't there. How many persons are there now? Okay, when the rehearsal is full, let me know. It's to improve productivity. So you can actually translocate that into a workplace. You can take that.
Yes.
Medical students in some other cultures are doing acting so that they can understand emotions. Okay, I was in a conference or a workshop in Finland back in about 15 something years ago, and the dentist was with us. And she just said, I needed to know how to interact with my patients. Maybe tell a little joke, play a little character when I'm pulling a tooth. Do you understand? Just imagine the doctors that you go to meet and how they squeeze their face and all that. But if they understand
So
acting,
cranky and everything.
they know
Yes.
how to engage you. Oh, Sokoto, is that where you say, oh, your family, and you are relaxed because these are small things that acting can do. These are small things that the theater does and is doing.
Yes.
So we're trying to
Yes,
change that
true.
narrative, people understanding that it's just beyond just thinking it is you have to be on stage. The world is a
No
stage.
worry.
Theater can.
Yes, so we're all actors.
So that's basically what it is, the art of play initiative. To change the dynamics about how we conceive and perceive theater.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I remember that someone once approached me and said, "Hey, Mawuyon, in my place of work, we are looking at how we can bring some theater people together and do capacity building for, I think it was a pharmaceutical company." And in my head, I was like, acting, theater, and pharmacy. But from what you're saying, it's clearer, knowing that we can actually, oh God, this heat is doing me shaky. Knowing that we can actually use theater. Okay, you see, it's my fan. We can actually use theater to make these people understand what they're doing more. And like you said, the word is a stage. And we're all actors. The man with that dentist you're talking about, you're talking about, for instance, whatever that dentist may have been feeling before he or she walked into the theater to do his whatever, that person, you get to forget that thing now to concentrate on the work. That is acting. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, coming back to Acts of Play initiative, now that we know that we don't have an age limit, and I appreciate the fact that it says something about pensioners. When I was reading through the write-up on Arts of Play initiative, I saw something about developing the mind. I read something about developing the mind. So I'm retired, but I'm not tired. I still want to do something active. I still want to be involved in building my community, giving back to my community, and remaining relevant in my community. How do you advise that such a person go about it?
Let me tell you something. Next year, not next, a few days time will be 5 years that I lost my wife, and I was at the barber's shop, and it actually started because of my wife teaching young people, children in our sitting room, right? This, and I just said, "Let me surprise you," and she didn't know I was going to do this. But it's just that unfortunately it didn't happen for her to see the fruition, as it were. But it was this man, pensioner, across the road, and he was saying, "Can I find somewhere to go and dance?" And my wife said, "I can teach you, but you have to have other people too." So I was got talking. I said, working with old persons out of this country, working with mental health patients and in the UK, I realized that they have what they call daycare for old people. If
Yes.
you go to the libraries outside now globally, they have playgrounds for children and daycare for old people, and libraries give them like an engagement of how they remember. See, an old man stays with someone alone now because of the world how it is now. He will forget himself someday because nobody comes to look for him. So my dream one day is I have a center when I retire. You old man and say, "Go here and play with your other people." The word is play. He's not going to act, he's playing so that he can remember himself. Working with guys with dementia, working with guys with dyslexia and all of that. But the old person own is what I say. Oh, teach them how to dance. But they're not doing the dance because now they want to strengthen their muscles. They want to relax. So you need a
And be
physiotherapist
in a
or this,
community.
and be in a community. That's where I'm going to. So peradventure, to use that Nigerian word, and he says, okay, there's an acting this thing, you're looking for 68-year-old. He can go for that audition. We can push him to say, go and do this. Because the landscape is changing. And we as practitioners need to understand that it is changing. So that's just one. One of us recently was working with deaf people with hearing challenges, as it were.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody's even thinking about that. Do you know they dance? Yes, they dance. Every time we do our performances, every December, there's where we keep asking people pay for vulnerable children to come and watch our performances. And 2 years now, there's always this excitement about, oh, we want to come and see, we want to come and see. They understand more than you understand. So this is where we are going to. You understand? This is where we are going to, because those codes we need to bring into our training and all that. But that's another aside. That's acting. What about in terms of lighting? What about in terms of scene design and all of that? What is in terms of music? Okay, Ehibola is here. We're looking for the one who makes a drum. And there's only one place or two that you find these guys who make drums now. The kind of drums some of them make, just very terrible. That's what Shane is doing also. He's teaching young people how to play drums.
Yes.
And then make drums. And these are, so what do you have? You're giving the man a skill. You're giving the man a competency. That's a derivative from that whole thing about theater. It's the drummer who supplies the musicians who play in the theater. Does anybody bother to ask where these drums come from? We don't. We don't. Badagry is so popular, and probably that axis around Porto Novo after Seme because of the drums and all of that. That's big business. Are you getting what I'm saying? But we're not even shouting about it. What about the xylophone from Wekpe every Wednesday market? We're not even thinking about that. And now, what do you find nowadays with the drum festival that the guys in Arengo and the rest in Abiyakuta, you know, and the, you know, this is the thing we are talking about. There's a big thing out there, but do you have drummers? Do you? Do you have drummers? Not only actors alone, but drummers, just drummers alone. And we have to start thinking about all of this. And that's what we're saying. For us, it's a different template entirely to say, let's start looking at the capacity first. And it's young people who can drive that. And I actually don't like that word empowerment. Do you understand? And the African Development Bank guy, additional, made me even say, yes, the word should be investment. And there's this logo I see in the care, this logo I see in care homes around them. It says investing in people. Investing in people. And we're saying investing in young people to change the arts. Investing in young people. Not
in people.
Yes, investing in people. It's not the way you say empowerment, give them a wheelbarrow, give them this and the rest. Excuse me, what else thereafter? You know, so we're doing beyond all that. We're doing beyond that we're talking about skills and we're talking about competencies. And that's what we're developing, skills and competencies.
And competencies.
Yes, and how to actually articulate your competencies and develop your skills. You know?
I saw that Tapi.
Yes.
Tapi, right?
Yes.
I said, for you who don't know what Tapi means, it's just an acronym for the Arts of Play Initiative, Tapi. I said it has different compartments.
Right.
I don't know if there are departments yet.
No, it's just the one which is performances. And then, of course, the TAS, the Art of Play Arts Zone, which is for Yes, for arts and all that. Do you understand? But again, we must not run away from one fact, which is again a point of convergence, confluence, and that's the fact that this is where theater meets with fine art. Okay, set
Hmm.
design, for instance, lighting design, these are all fine arts. You get what I
Hmm.
mean? They're all fine
Yes,
arts
I do.
in a certain context. Okay. Um, um, I tell you something. One guy is not there. So we're doing this performance in Lagos, and I gave a lighting cue, a lighting sheet plot to this particular guy. He saw the thing and he was like, "What is this?" Big prominent theater, no names mentioned, said, "What is this?" The next day I came and I said, where's the lighting queue now? You're doing something else for these DJ lights you guys are putting up. That's a fiam, 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 fiam. I said, no, where is it? And he said, I'm not the one, no. And I'm like, you're not the one? I didn't know they were twins. The guy ran away.
Oh,
The guy ran away because he has never
and
seen
left
a
his twin.
yes, he has never seen a lighting chart,
Q
lighting
shit.
plot. Yes. And I'm saying
Oh shoot.
acting taking place here, you're putting on lights on at the other side of the stage and all of that. And then the lights keep revolving and the rest. I say, excuse me, I don't understand. So that needs to be, it's in a prominent theater. Like everybody is hey, everything is up.
My dear, I know the theater you're talking
I
about.
don't know. I don't know
Because
school. So
wait now, wait now.
no
I
names
know.
mentioned. No names
No names,
mentioned.
I'm not mentioning it.
Yes. And I'm asking myself and I'm saying, except I did not go to not school, train as a designer. This does not work at all. Chuma is still here.
You see that you,
Design thinking
you
is
see that
very
particular you see that
it's not
particular
I see
theater.
some of them happening somewhere else. So everybody just have an
No,
LED. Mm.
you see, let me tell you, this particular theater you're talking about, the person who did the first lighting there is one that is affecting every other person in the other theaters that you say you saw them.
It's all right. It's all
Um,
right.
this man came from the UK, and we did The Secret Life of Obasegi's Wives. He practically walked the light person out of the hall. Femi Elufowoju.
I know Femi. Femi and the wife directs for. She's directing one play now for Dikbo. I know her by reputation. He used to run the National School
Exactly.
Drama. Yeah.
All joy. You know, because before then, I used to have the same issue that I'm on stage, I'm acting, and the light you are giving to me is not showing my face. My audience can see my face. They can see my frame, but they cannot appreciate what I'm doing with my face. Because your lighting is poor, they can't see my face. Talk more of relating what my face is saying to what my voice is
Let,
saying.
let me lie to you. This is the only place, I don't want to say country, that a costume designer does not come to rehearsal until the day of the performance or something like that.
We'll be fine.
The lighting,
We'll be fine.
no. And that's what I'm saying. That's what the TAPI is all about. Building that skill and encouraging that competence. Know it. Because when we actually know it, then we can look. Small thing. What's a lookbook? Where are the sketches for your designs and all that? If I'm asking for it, it's as if I'm stupid. I don't understand. So it's this thing we're asking. Let's build young people. They will affect the upper generation, and they will affect the generation coming together.
After them.
I ask is see, just give yourself one other kind of thing. Now, imagine now that we're working with a performance. So a performance, and you say, how do you align yourself with the Indomine generation? You know, I don't want to say iPhone generation or Android. Let me localize it. Okay, so what's the primer in teaching them, for instance? okay, oh, the unions or the police don't take care of it. No, fine. We probably don't have a pedagogical trajectory for us here, history about how we do theater, so to speak, but we can start to develop it. So this is where the town and the gown meet. But now
Meet.
we're talking about the town and what these brilliant minds are doing there. Sheun, Adefila, I don't want to mention all their names, but two of them with grassroots, not grassroots in a very pejorative manner. No, but grassroots as in working with these children. They're not, they are changing the face and the life of art. And they are the ones who are going to affect it eventually. That's why I have hope.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's why I have
Hopefully,
hope.
yes.
Yes, that's why I have hope. Yes, a few days ago or so, my son came back from school and I said, guy, you know they do yahoo yahoo now, we're just playing. He said, no, NFTs. I said, NFTs. Oh, non-fungible tokens. Okay. So, how many persons, which school now they teach NFTs? Do you get what I'm saying? And it will come to that with the theater. And I'm learning that from the young people, not from anywhere. The young persons are even teaching me. Do you get what I mean? They're teaching me. And so I'm learning. I'm having to do like double work so that I can make them even more articulate, as it were. And then it's they who will teach themselves. So it's not like it's my own thing. There are other young people involved in this thing, and they're doing it. And we have to encourage each other to move further. So back to that reality about the Art of Play initiative. We say to ourselves, let's not do it the way that we've done it yesterday. We say to ourselves, when you come into a rehearsal venue, forget the fact that this is what you learned yesterday. Think of this as a new experience. Yes. So that you don't turn yourself into a cliche. We say to yourself, the minute you are in an environment, align yourself because of the basic training that you've had. Okay, we had this woman who came in from Austria to work with us last year. And I just wrote something about acting is life, acting is this and all of that. And it's to teach acting in business, in entrepreneurship. Do you get? So I say acting is this and all that. And she's written the script to be like a docu thing. So, and the guys are acting by the corner. She's doing editing and all of that. She's going to launch soon, that kind of thing that she's doing. But people don't even think about it in that regard. But I just did that and I never knew I could do it. So I showed them the script. I said, this is what I sent her. This is what she converted it to. So that put me in my head, wow, there's so much opportunities out there. And where's that interacting coming from? LinkedIn. LinkedIn. There's a friend who during COVID had issues and she would just write a part of her script and put it, screenshot it on Instagram.
LinkedIn.
And that's how
Instagram.
That's how she got writing a gig during COVID. And I'm telling the young persons who are working with us, you don't need to be an actor. You can now start to develop the scripts that we'll be doing someday. Okay, we're working now seriously with the Creative Hub to see how we can develop a writing a writing festival, as it were. Okay, and this is part of it's a long-term thing. It's part of our activities. It's a long-term thing. Let's walk step by step. No, we don't have. They don't have step by step in education. Because if the man climb up, he go, I don't know. We'll find it because if you climb up, you go remove the ladder.
Okay, bros. Obviously, you have to come back.
So
you have to come back to my show because we've not exhausted anything. And 1 hour don't reach. You don't know.
President, so that means if like say money don't do this matter now, that means we have to talk the money. I just a joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Israel Wekpe, a very loving, and you can see that he's a teacher. He practically took over the program and did all the talking. And I was hoping that was what would happen, and that's the way it happened. I'm so happy that you are the first person I'm bringing on Actors Live rebranded, and thank you for honoring my call. And like I said, you just have to come back. We're still going to talk about the Art of Play initiative on a grand, maybe that money thing will enter last.
No man, that guy when he
You
told
see?
them, he say you have to come back, sir. The guy never answer any well. Oh. Me talk well. Oh. Are you a noble man? Okay. It's all right.
They say you too no book, nothing do you. So we really need to bring the program to an end. Uncle Israel has been educative, informative. I know he promised a invigorating. Oh, I thought that English well.
Hey, our Kukwa people, they go fire me today. That's not me. That's Olaro to me. Man talk, woman talk. Hey.
An invigorating discourse. And as it is, 1 hour is just not enough. So this is what will happen. We just may have a session where we actually bring you on and let people signify interest that they want to come in, and then so we can exhaust as much as we possibly can. Thank you so very much for coming on board, Uncle Israel. I'm educated. You know, say after now, I will still call you, we'll still talk our own.
No,
Don't mind us
I
because we're here. People, don't
No,
worry, we are lovers. Don't worry, because we are here. We are trying to code it for you people so you don't understand how it's going.
Bomi
So,
Ayelobi Ojo. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown.
Don't be a
So no
yellow
be.
biojo. Olúwa mi ẹ̀rọ. Who is afraid of Solari?
Doki, you don't have to.
Hello, people.
One is
If you're
entitled to
not
the
an
benefit.
actor, I'm telling you, if you're not an actor and you've not read any of this script, you will not understand the joke that is going on presently. So,
Which
this is
reminds me, just for people who go for auditions. Okay, you go for an audition. You don't even know the line from the last thing that you did. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You get.
I just tired. And then everybody on the phone using Instagram say they'll be superstar. Excuse me. Well, I not believe in all
It's
of
not
that.
their fault. Not be their fault.
Me will come be
Bros,
Instagram
hold
star.
on like this. This is an open invite that the Actors Live with Mawuyon. We're going to be organizing a session where we bring on Israel Wekpe. And like I said, each one tell one. If you'd love to be in that session, please slip into my DM. We take it from there. It's going to be away from the Actors Live with Mawuyon evening Vespa Sunday show. It's going to be you, myself, facing Uncle Israel, and him dishing it out to us as it is. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on the episode on Disgrace himself.
It should be rude. Then something again. I hope I'm safe.
Okay, Uncle, let me tell you bye-bye. Till I was speaking to you
next time.
Layo. Okay, so I can sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's on that note. I want to welcome you to Actors Live with Mawuyon Reloaded, where hopefully the various guests I bring on board, after we're done, we'll download and upload it on our YouTube channel so that you can always go back there to see. Please, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it is YouTube Mawuyon !Enayon! Just subscribe and we'll take it from there. Thank you so very much and God bless you. Uncle Israel, bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic time with you. I'm happy that we're starting Actors Live with Mawuyon on this very beautiful note. Keep a date with us again next week, when I'll be bringing another very interesting human being. That's next week. My body is already doing me gish gish because I'm going to start. I'm sending out the posters already tonight, so that you know that it's not. We are not playing. It's not a joking something. It's a very, very serious something. Until then, from me, from Uncle Israel, it is good night. God bless you.
And God bless
Thank
you.
you for tuning
Ciao.
in.
Bye.
Ciao.